You've caught me on the way to CEX. I just dropped my boys off at a birthday party in there. And I've got my microphones with me because you never know when the next reselling content is just going to appear. So I thought, let's have a catch up. Anyway, CEX. What I do is when I go to the charity shops and I find DVDs, Blu-rays, games for £1, and they've got a bit of CEX credit, I save them. I store them up. And then when I've got enough CEX credit that it's worth going down, I trade them all in. So that's what we're going to do today. I worked out I've probably got about £30 worth of credit. So I'll see what's in CEX, see if there's anything I can add to my collection, or see if there's something I can buy to sell on. But anyway, this morning I popped into the charity shop. This time it was looking for stuff just to sell on eBay. Firstly, I found a screwball scramble. You know I love finding those. This version, blue box, sells for about 15 quid if complete. And I've not had much luck with them being complete recently. Things to look out for: does it have the instructions, the ball bearing, the timer? Does it have that little hoop? It's a little hoop that always gets you, and this one has it all. So that should be 15 quid. Next find. Bit niche, but could be special. My son actually was going through all the kiddies' books, and he found some Tintin books. But this is a full set of Chinese language books. Really random to find. And actually it's quite hard to find some reliable sold listings. People have got the individual books listed up for about 25 quid each, but they just don't seem to be selling. I can see that there's a sold listing somewhere in Europe, Germany maybe, that went for €200. No one's buying that for €200 surely. So I'm not sure what to do with them. Well, I've got two options. One of my friends, I think, may be interested in them anyway, so I might just give them to him or give him first refusal. And if not, maybe it's time to run an auction and just let the buyers determine the price. Third thing I found, Catan, boxed, brand new, and I know this one's pretty good. 5 quid I paid for that. Now looking at solds, you might be pushing 35 to 40. But again, I don't know what to do with this one because my boys have been enjoying the junior Catan. So I might save this one and give it to them for Christmas. It might be a bit complicated. Or I might sell it, cash it in, and use the money for something else. I then popped into a couple of other charity shops on the way back home after football this morning. Didn't find too much. I found some brand new sealed ink for 3 quid. Still in date. That runs out this October. No, next October. And bought some football boots for my boy. Only 4 quid. No resale value. But they're blue and orange. And he liked the look of them. Cross the road there now. But what I do with this one charity shop is whenever they get some Pokemon cards or football cards in, rather than just sticking them out onto the shop floor as a job lot, they let me look through them first and just give them an appraisal. I pick out any decent football cards or any worthwhile Pokemon cards. I let them know what they're worth and they can do what they want with them then. So I've got a bag full of Pokemon cards at home that we need to sort through. And I've been getting into my cards recently. I've had a few deliveries come through the post. I'm putting together another grading submission. I'm on about 30 cards and I like to submit them in bulks of 50. So I've got another 20 cards to source. I bought a box of stickers actually the other day that I'm waiting to arrive. I'll have a big pack opening, look for some specific players and then send them on. But they have been selling as well. I've sold 2 Bomber T cards just this morning. A MGC 9 sticker from the latest sticker album. That one went for 25. And then to the same buyer, I sold this Inception Bomber T. That one only got an 8, but it is a numbered card. That was 25 quid as well. So 50 quid, 2 cards. Good morning. And I'll show you some more sales later on in the video. I've got some footage from in the garage covering the week just gone. But it's not all rosy. It's not all about sales. I know it's Q4. Everyone's on about sales. I've had a couple of returns and I wonder, is it because you've got buyers who don't usually use the platform jumping on it? Because returns are quite rare for me. 2 returns though. The first one was a Wii U game and I don't know how I feel about it. Well, at first I was a bit annoyed, but I've got a bit of sympathy. So they want to return it because they tried to play it on the Wii. They tried to play it on just the normal Nintendo Wii and it didn't work. Now I just thought that was quite an obvious thing. Just going to wait here because I can see CX down there. Now I thought that was quite an obvious thing. But obviously not. You know, it was described well, it was photographed well, but where I got that wrong though was in the item description. No, in the item categories. I said what platforms, and I ticked Wii U and I ticked Wii. So my fault. So I've had to give a full refund on that, but I've relisted that. The second return I had was that old school Cotton Traders Wales jersey. I was really chuffed to sell that because the eBay guy at the open was hammering the listing and they said it would never sell. But it did sell. And actually it sold to the dad of a boy in my son's class. So I knew him, and I dropped it around there actually rather than post it. But as soon as I knew that it was for him to wear and not just for a collection, I was like, that is never going to fit you. He bought a large, it was listed as a large. The boy's never a large, I tell you that. So he tried it on, gave me a message and just said, look, it's far too small. And it always was going to be if it was for him. So 50 quid, had to give the return. I've not relisted that one yet. I will take a bit more effort putting some better photos into that because it is worth 50 quid. It's probably worth more than that, so I'll see if I can get a bit more than that. But anyway, that is what I've been up to this weekend, and I've got a busy reselling weekend ahead planned. I need to really ramp up my listing. I do, because sales haven't been as they should for a Q4 time of year, and it's down to I'm just not listing enough. My store has only got 195 items on there, and really it needs to be up at 250, I'd say. Now I do have a lot of cards that are very quick and very easily they're very listable basically, so I could artificially bump up my store size for that, but the cards will sell any time of the year. What I want to be listing now is stuff that is really going to do well at Christmas. Toys, board games, computer games, that type of thing. Stuff that where the value is high now and perhaps isn't so high the rest of the year. Now I do have a bit of a backlog. I do have a bit of a death pile of stock, so I will have a good sift through that. I think maybe spend a couple of hours just going through and organising it, pulling out some of the more valuable stock this time of year. I think that'll be more productive than just simply bumping up the listings, and take it from there. Anyway, I'm going to head into CEX. Yeah, it's this way, innit? Head into CEX. I'll show you the bits that I want to trade in, and I'll see if there's anything worth picking up for the collection or selling on eBay. And here we are, a bit of a mix to trade in. All of this has come from the charity shop, and typically I spent £1.50, maybe £2 on them. You know, we got PlayStation 4 games. That is a cracking box set. Only worth £3 trade-in, but what a box set. Alien and Predator. PS4, we got some PS3 games, Xbox 360, Wii Sports, good trading value on that. And Scream. Prices are high, Halloween's coming in there, so trading value on that was pretty good. So the CEX pile is looking a lot thinner. 6 games traded in and they gave me £33 voucher. Now I know a few of you have asked why I bothered doing this. Well, those games cost, let's say, £1 each, maybe £1.50 each. Let's say they cost me a tenner. So I've spent a tenner and I've had £30 voucher back. And I picked a game up. Tony Hawk's 3 on 4 on PS5, £30. So I used my voucher on that and I've still got £3 voucher left over, and that's what I do. If there's a game I want to play, I will trade up and I'll get it. So that game cost me a tenner, and if I'm lucky I might be able to find a few games that I can actually buy and sell on eBay and turn that voucher straight into cash. But that's not all I picked up. I popped into the charity shop next door to CEX because my mission was to try and find some fancy dress for my boys for Halloween. I didn't find any fancy dress, but when I was going through the fancy dress rail, I found some amazing tops. Look at this Nightmare Before Christmas top here. Skeleton on the front, big Nightmare Before Christmas splattered across the back. It's massive, it's double XL, and I've picked up 3 that are similar to this. The same guy must have donated them all in, and I don't think they've ever been worn. This one has still got the tag on. It says Disney theme park there, and when it was brought new, $64.99. This would have been picked up in America. That's cool, isn't it? The second one a little bit more discreet, nothing on the back but a cool print on the front. But this here, this is my favorite. I might actually wear this myself on Halloween. It's going to be too big, but I can put it over the top of a coat. The front, right, doesn't look like there's much going on. Bit of a tie-dye graphic. Says Haunted Mansion there, but look at the back. Glow in the dark lettering across the shoulders. Haunted Mansion. I'm going to hold it up there. It's amazing, isn't it? I love the graphic on it. Now this here, it says Spirit Jersey, little tab there, that says Spirit Jersey. And if you look up some Spirit jerseys on eBay, they can go from 50 quid up to 150 quid, depending on condition and depending on what the graphic is. This is a pretty strong graphic. Pre-owned condition, I'd be looking for about 50 for it, I think. I mean, what do? Do I sell it now? Because we're in peak period, aren't we? I could sell it this week so someone could pick it up and wear it themselves for Halloween, get that top price, or is it worth keeping? It glows in the dark as well. I can't remember if I said that graphic along there, that is glow in the dark. I'm just talking myself into it. Best thing about it, those 3 t-shirts, £5 each. That was all. Really happy with those. Really happy. But I didn't get any fancy dress for my boys, which was the whole reason for going in. So that'll be a job for when we go to the charity shops next week. I can't forget. I'm pleased to announce eBay sales have been picking up. Still not at the Q4 levels everybody else is talking about, but they're heading in the right direction. Today is all about variety and most importantly, quality. And I'll show you what's kickstarted everything off. Yes, I am in my collection area. This type of stuff shouldn't really be for sale. That's all my for sale stuff, but I had to dip into it. And I sold that Energon Omega Supreme up there. I love the colours on him. He's a bit of a beast, but I've already got an Omega Supreme back there and I just prefer that one up there more. So this one had to go. Few things to watch out for. Does he have a head? That's a headmaster. That comes off and forms its own little transformer and often you see it missing. And also on his arm there, that's a little battery pack. People forget about that. Leave the batteries in, just normal AA's. Leakage everywhere. Now this one unfortunately doesn't have the missiles. You can see there should be 2 that go in there. That's hampered the price a little bit, but even so that one there is sold for 35 quid. Next sale, a good sale, but I thought they'd do better to be honest. When I picked these up, a few of you guys were like, oh yeah, brilliant brand, good pickup. Yeah, these should do really well. And they've done all right. The brand is Sorrel. Leather on the top, rubber on the front. The amount of messages I got when I picked these up, I thought these would go for an absolute ton. And solds on some of them are really impressive. I just don't think the condition was there with these. Look, a few little dents. One of the Sorrel logos at the back is coming off. I took an offer, 25 quid. And on the theme of rubber footwear, I sold this pair of vintage Hunter Wellies. And these did not last long whatsoever. Great condition, lovely colour, classic pair of boots, Royal Hunter made in Scotland there. Thing is, there's no size on them. So I had to use ChatGPT. Embracing AI. I had a 5-minute conversation with ChatGPT just about how I size these. And to be fair, it gave me some pretty good advice. I had the tape measure out. I was measuring kind of the length and the width of it. And then ChatGPT was going on the Hunter kind of sizing guide and tell me what it was. UK size 8 they turned out to be. And those there sold for 85 quid. Just hope I got that size right. Next one up in the box here, and I have had this listed for ages, but it's Halloween, perfect time to sell it. This is Rumpus. He's a monster in my closet. Pretty old, 1999, see it on there. Reasonable condition. I would have thought this would have been a lot more popular, but again, I don't think my photos were the best. Kind of had him hung on the back door from that little like hook up there. Yeah, so it was a bit like this. Didn't really do it justice at all. Took an offer 13 quid and I think it'll go great as a Halloween decoration. I sold another Transformer. So this Bumblebee Rescue Bot, this is a first generation one. And I think it's a great time of the year to be selling retro toys. Obviously you can give them to kids to play with, but people start to get a bit sentimental and nostalgic this time of year as well, don't they? I mean, I am just looking at it. But no, he's got to go. Sold for 11. Couple of graded football card sales to show you. This Ronaldo playing card, that's from a 2006 Man United set. Waddingtons, see it there? Sent this off to SGC ages ago, come back in 8.5, got 35 quid for it. And this Euro 2000 Beckham sticker, MGC grade 8, that one sold for 15. Last week in the charity shop, I picked up this bag for £2.50 because it had some Lego Army Men in it, the minifigures from Toy Story. Those I've listed up in a separate listing, but inside the bag was also a load of these. Let's take a closer look. Now these toys are made by a company called Character Building. Strange name, isn't it? But they have been known to make toys for Doctor Who, so they are an established brand. But this set of toys here, these were commissioned by the Armed Forces. We got some Army in there, we got some Air Force, we got some Navy, and actually these turned out to be really collectible. Now this set of figures has actually done better than the Lego I bought the whole bundle for. I've listed that up for $18.50, it's not sold yet. 16 figures in there, I listed them up for £35 and had an offer in 2 hours after listing for 30. I accepted it. That was a £30 bonus. I didn't expect to get anything out of these. In fact, I was just going to donate them back to the charity shop. But it was just the volume of them. There was enough quantity and enough variety in them. I just thought, let's look them up. Let's see what they're all about. And the solds were okay, pretty promising on the ones that have sold, but the sell-through rate doesn't seem to be that great. Well, actually, no, there's not that many actually listed up there. But that is a new brand for me, character building. Keep an eye out for him. This is ridiculous. Just come over to the laptop there just to check what else is sold. Just showed you that one, didn't I? I swear people are listening. ChatGPT, AI, algorithms, whatever it is, they're listening. Because an offer has just come in on these Lego minifigures. I accepted it, 14 quid. So that bag there I picked up at £2.50 in the charity shop, sold across 2 listings, 44. So sales are picking up, and sneak peek for the next video, I've got even more sales to show you. So guys, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'll catch up with you then.